Hello everyone and welcome to Data Gift. Uh, Today's video would be first in the series of a set of videos that I am planning to uh, create, which where we would be implementing a pipeline based on this particular research paper, InstructEdit. And in this video, we will try to understand how to read a research paper like this one, and we will try to understand how to, skim through a research paper and take out the relevant ideas out. Okay, so this particular paper is based around the idea of taking advantage of pre-trained models to automate the task of image editing and there are a couple of models that are involved. We will look into that. So first and foremost, whenever you are going to read a research paper, we don't need to read each and every line, but we have to know where to search for the ideas and which sections are important. So going from the top to the down. So in the top, there would be some images or some explanations which would point us to the idea about um, idea on what the paper is trying to implement. So, for example, here we can see uh, a comparison between the instructed paper and another uh, paper with which the author of this paper, tried to compare their results to. Then the other, then the other important section is the abstract. This gives a summary of what the paper is really about. So from here, from the abstract of this paper, I can understand that this the, here the authors are trying to propose a framework known as InstructEdit, and what they are going to do is that they are trying to combine certain pretend models like one being ChatGPT, the other one is uh, uh, Blip 2, and then segment anything and stable diffusion to create a pipeline which can where you can input an image and then edit the image based on the text prompt. Now this particular paper is based on another paper known as Diffusion-based, the link to which I will provide in the description section. So what that previous paper was doing is that it would take an image and you can provide a text prompt asking it to edit something and another image would be coming around from the other side of the model where which would be an edited version of your original image. So this particular paper is trying to somehow improve on that. That's what I got to know from this abstract. So this sounds interesting. So we will read on to find what else we can know from this one. So the other section is the introduction. So you can just skim through this part, all of this, and you can get to know some prior work that has been done in this field and how this present work is deriving ideas from those prior work and everything. So and yes, uh, some more things can be known from here about what these guys are doing. I mean, the authors of this paper. So the this would explain what models they are using or how they are using it, all this stuff, right? And so from this particular introduction, again, okay, so this would be basically laying a foundation about their idea of a particular paper and what they are trying to explore here or what they are proposing. So this gives a basic overview of the idea behind or motivation behind that current thing. Then I would simply skip through the related work section, but if you are interested, you can definitely go through it. But sometimes in the related work section also some important information are there. This particular image, which is kind of interesting because this is where they have mentioned what they are doing, basically the structure of the pipeline. So what happens is that the instructed in the instructed framework, they get the input image. So for example, here is an image of a cat and a dog. They uh, ask the user to input certain text. So for example, here it is, change the cat to a fox. That particular text is passed on to a language processor, which in this case is ChatGPT LLM. And additionally, they also take help of another multimodal model uh, known as Blip2, which kind of generates a caption for that image. What this language model does is that it would generate uh, two things. One is the prompt, text prompt for a segmentation model. So the text prompt here being cat, because that's what we are trying to do here. That is, we are trying to change the cat over here to a fox. So what the language model will do is that it would spit out a text prompt saying cat, which is the main subject that we want to change. This would go to a segmentation model so that the segmentation model can generate a mask for that particular or for the subject, which is the cat in this case. And the caption generated by the multimodal model, like Blip2, is again fed into the ChatGPT model, and ChatGPT utilizes that caption to generate two more captions. One is the caption, actual caption for the photograph, which here is the photo of a cat and dog, and another caption is the edited one, that is photo of a dog and a fox, because you see our original input was this one, that is change the cat to a fox. So that's why we would need a caption which would convey, which would convey what we want to change. So that's why the edited prompt would be photo of a dog and a fox. Why this happens is that because the paper Diffusion-based on which this particular paper InstructEdit is based, what it did was that you got an image, you got a caption for that image, and you got an edited caption, which would be the edited text of what you want the image to be changed to. It would pass through our model, and then the model would use this caption and the edited caption to get the final output, final edited image. So here in InstructEdit, they are trying to do the same thing, but now this caption and this edited caption is generated automatically by our language processor. Okay, and in the diff edit paper, originally there was no mask, but now this segmentation model is this segmenter is generating a mask for us based on the text prompt generated by the language processor. So the mask generation is also automated. Now here you can see the mask could be generated, and the generated mask and the image is passed on to the stable diffusion model, and here you get a edited image where the cat is actually converted to a fox. So this is the basic structure of or basic idea that is being proposed by this particular paper. Now you can go through the foundation model section, or you can skip it because it gives more or less the same information, like what models are used and whatnot. Then comes the method section, where you usually find a bunch of equations. Now this becomes scary uh, for the first time, but when you take this equation and then search online, you can get the meaning of all these symbols. Okay, so this basically what this says is that these symbols are like finding an absolute value of a particular thing, and this is the square, and this particular thing is a function, and xt, c, and t are some kind of variables of this function epsilon theta, and epsilon minus epsilon theta is some kind of loss function, uh, which we have to reduce. I mean, we have to reduce the loss. So this is a uh, common optimization problem. Like we have something epsilon, and we have something else epsilon theta, a function, and we are trying to find minimize the difference between the two. That is, we are trying to minimize the loss. It is same as mean square error loss, somewhat similar, and here they are trying to do the same thing. So you can go through this section and understand more about it. But that's it, because this particular equation is the same equation. So this particular equation is the same equation that is given in the Diffusion paper. Because here in InstructEdit we are using the Diffusion as our model of choice, which is actually the main image editing model for us. So that's why this particular loss function is here. Then comes the other part like language processor, which I again explained that it's ChatGPT that they are using. Then there's segmentation model. So segmentation model generates mask for you. Now the thing is that the kind of segmentation model that they are using is SAM, segment anything, which is a model used or invented by Meta. And what it does is that you pass a bunch of coordinates to it, and it would generate a bounding box for you. Okay, so and then there's the image editor, as I said, that it's a stable diffusion that they are using, and trying to minimize the loss between the generated image and the original image, so that the generated image is as much close to the original, except those pixels which we want to actually change. Now the experiment section provides you with certain uh, certain ideas about how they set up their experiments, what scores they achieved, the result over here, and whatnot. So you can feel free to go through it and understand what actually the results look like, and if this paper is worth exploring or not. Okay, so that's it for this paper explainer, and that is how you skim through a research paper and pick out ideas from it. So the idea is that not to go through the entire research paper, but to skim through it and pick up the ideas which are required. And the other important part is not to be afraid of equations, the mathematics. Sometimes these are simple things. What you just need to do is that take a screenshot of a particular equation, for example, this one, and Google it and try to understand meaning of the symbols. Like this one is epsilon. All this you can get from a simple Google search. Okay, so that's it for this video, and from the next video onwards, we would try to code the ideas that we have got from this research paper.